Flying is for poor people. Last year I said this directed at people who are poor in time. But it turns out flying really is for poor people because it's cheaper than overlanding, apparently.
The exception is, of course, if you're business class or private jet rich.
Going on a holiday by aeroplane is also terrible for the environment. But of course, like always, environmental awareness is a lifestyle for the privileged. Or is it? Sure, I'm fortunate enough not to be working for minimum wage, but I have no investments to live off. I'm not considered part of the 1%, hell, I'm not considered part of the 20%. I am middle class, I work for a living, so my time per year is limited, but it is possible to travel overland, as you can see in my older videos of my trip last year to Morocco. Due to choices I made in the past, I now have a moral obligation to show my face every other year in Thailand. And I wish I had the time to do the whole journey again overland. But before we dive into the new adventure, let's define what vacation means to me. Vacation means that I'm away from home, out of my daily routine, doing new things, seeing new places, and if possible, meeting new people from different cultures. And of course, I love to see the beauty of Mother Earth. I prefer to travel overland, so I see everything up close. And there are many options, of course. The slower you go, the better it is. So you could go on foot, you can go on by bicycle, by car, by motorcycle. It's all good to travel overland and experience this perfect vacation. My choice of mode of transport right now is the train or the bus whenever there are no trains available. The journey we're about to embark on is a train trip from Beijing to Bangkok. As I'm not on a sabbatical, I will fly to Beijing and then fly back from Bangkok. So let me take you on the planning journey for this trip. And with this, Ecosia, Google Maps and a little bit of AI have been my friend. Also, the experience of last year, I decided that the speed should be between places higher, but the number of places a little lower. However, China is huge and there are too many things to see. So I looked at the map from Beijing to Bangkok and started to search on Ecosia, but I settled on Xi'an because there's a terracotta army there. I decided to go to, and forgive me the pronunciation, I have no idea how to pronounce it, but Zhangjiajie, or whatever, because the Avatar films were supposedly shot in the national park near there. Then stop over at Kunming, because from there the trains to Laos depart. Then it was time to look into the matters of visa. A Dutch citizen can, in 2025, visit China for less than 30 days without a visa, or basically with a visa on arrival. For that, you need to have a return ticket. As I don't have a return ticket, I applied for a visa anyway, which was refused on the grounds of you don't need a visa for a visit of less than 30 days. So I'm taking that email with me and hope for the best. For Laos, I applied for an e-visa, which was indeed as easy as the Laotian websites advertised. And I'll probably be granted entry for the couple of days I'll be traveling through Laos. For Thailand, under 30 days, I also don't need a visa, and when I arrive at the border there, I have a return ticket from Bangkok back to Europe less than 30 days after my arrival. Then I had a look into how to book train tickets in China, which turns out is possible, doable in many different ways. Quite a few people advised to use trip.com, but I found another app called 12306, which is the Chinese National Railway app, and I found it to be the cheapest option. And without ever having seen a single train in China yet, I haven't been there before, I can say through this app I'm already very impressed by the Chinese railway system. The sheer number of trains is very impressive, especially on the long distances. For example, the 1200 kilometer journey from Beijing to Xi'an counts many overnight sleeper trains, some only minutes apart. However, train travel is apparently quite popular in China. I tried to book tickets ahead of time, which is only possible 15 days ahead of the departure of the train. And if you don't want to pay Trip.com for the service of booking tickets for you, you'll need to be up at 8 in the morning Beijing time, which in Western Europe is 2 a.m. At 2 in the morning I was on the app. At 2:02 I had booked our 3 sleeper tickets. There were only 14 beds left on the whole train for first class. 6 hours later I woke up and the whole train was sold out except for seats and standing tickets. And the same went for all the other sleeper trains. Of course, there are many more trains available, and if you want to travel on high-speed trains during the day, you can also get last-minute tickets. If you are like me and you like to use sleeper trains, then I recommend booking ahead and knowing when and where you want to go, because these tickets sell out fast. I will not bore you with all my considerations during the planning stage. You will find out as this vlog unfolds for this summer's holiday. However, several useful details I thought to know before going to China were A. Cash is barely used. All money transactions are digital, so I installed both Alipay and WeChat Pay and connected them to my credit card. Also, Google doesn't work all that well in China, so I installed a map, which does work in English, somewhat. And of course, I got myself an eSIM, but as I'm not being sponsored, I'm not telling you which one. You can find that on your own. So tag along on this next overland vacation adventure. And join the revolution. Get out of the aeroplane and travel like the rich. Vacation like there's no tomorrow. Go overland. Leave the planes behind, because you'll see so much more and the adventure will be so much greater. Follow for more.